Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Residents of Bar Hill, Portland in mourning. Residents of Bar Hill in Portland say the usual happiness among members of the community has turned to mourning since Monday's murder of 44-year-old fisherman Michael Davis outside his home. I hear about 6 or 7 shots about 4 minutes to 2, and I rush out in my underpants and look up and down the road to see if I see anything. I didn't see anything, but on my way back, I saw 2 men coming across a fence with a phone light, and I heard one say, "Bust him." And by then, bust the gunshot, I truck into the bush. So, me run through the bush, I'm hear the dogs barking at them, said a resident. I came out and went up the road and looked across. As I was in the middle of the road, when me see Davis' body at the gate, me start bawl out, "Murder, murder, them kill Eddie White." That is the name by which many residents fondly address Davis. Him wife just a ball, so the whole community in shock, added the man. According to the police, Davis and his family were approached by 2 masked gunmen after returning home from an event about 2 a.m. on Monday. The armed men, who demanded that the group turn over their belongings, shot Davis while he was trying to lock the gate. He was pronounced dead at hospital, but other family members escaped without being hurt. Residents believe David was targeted for earnings from a fundraiser he held over the weekend. "We had a weekend sport jam Saturday, no trouble. Sunday was his. All of us were playing we game, drink and no argument. Then this go happen," said one man. "Me mash up man, it rough. Me ball as me coulda lose me life same way." He is hoping the killers will soon be brought to justice. "I think the police them a work. I want them catch this killer. Them hold up the wife and daughter and take away the money, then them kill him and him come in. And not just robbery that. Them just come to kill Eddie White, cause them a rob up the money already," he said, his eyes swelling with tears. And though he said he has no idea why Davis was killed, an elderly man seated on the corner at the entrance of the Bar Hill was just as saddened by his death. "We feel terrible, man. It's a bad way he died. I don't know of any reason why they kill him. He was a good fisherman. He is good to the family, friends and strangers," he said. Another elderly neighbor, Maurice Brand, spoke of the man Davis had been. "Eddie White was a calm person, in running bar, doing fishing, a quiet and very kind person. He was very helpful, and him always help out in everything that is happening in the community," he said, adding that he was saddened by the death. 88-year-old Lebert Watson was particularly perturbed that Davis had not been allowed to experience more of his life. "We are very sad and sorry that he went that way. He's a good young man with a great future ahead of him. We are so sorry that his life could go like that," he said. "We are fearful. It's a good man them kill, a good and kind fisherman. Him give people food to eat. He's one of the kindest fishermen I know." Davis is the 5th person to be killed in Portland this year. Residents happy for new Franklinton police station. In a community where residents experiences on and off gun violence, the opening of a new police station at the corner of Franklin Avenue and Wellington Street was a welcome gift. The official opening ceremony of the police station took place on Wednesday, and residents were not shy in sharing their joy. One woman, Maureen, reported that it gives her a very good feeling to know that the police have bigger and more comfortable facilities from which to serve the more than 15,000 people in Franklin Town and surrounding communities. "Because of the violence, we did a go around here, me feel very good about this. The violence was going on bad around here. We're glad it's open and we love how it's pretty," said Maureen. Another resident, Sophia, who was among a group of community members observing the official opening, said the new building was a pleasing sight. According to Sophia, the building has so far more space, including 4 rooms for banquets, and she is anticipating more policemen and women will be stationed in the community to lessen the mayhem usually caused by gunmen. "The upliftment is nice. We will have more officers in the community, so hopefully we will have less crime. The crime situation is much more than last year. It was really bad last year. This year it's a little better. We have a little relaxation right now, and we can come out of our houses. The only thing is that we have a few bad men will come through and do some unnecessary stuff like rob people's phone," Sophia said. Omar Sweeney, managing director of the Jamaica Social Investment Fund a key stakeholder in the initiative executed over the Poverty Reduction Program with funding from the European Union, said the completion of this project marked the seventh such project done in Kingston and St. Catherine, St. James and Clarendon at an overall cost of over $300 million. We are very pleased. While it took a while in the coming, the projects were implemented effectively and efficiently. As was said, we ended the project from 2021 despite challenges. We have done 2 police stations in Kingston, 2 in St. James, 2 in Clarendon, and 1 in St. Catherine, said Sweeney. He told reporters that he has instructed the residents of the community who are affiliated with the Police Youth Club to make an application for funding to build another section at the location to house Franklin Town Police Youth Club. We have already started the discussions regarding some of the priorities, and to my understanding, they are looking for a space here for the youth club. I have instructed them to get the proposal into me so I can get to include it in the program, said Sweeney. That was good news for Charmin Daniels, People's National Party Council Almonton Division. Daniels and others who were instrumental in the staging before construction started complained on Tuesday that they were being left out of the project and were upset that no provision was made for the resource room for community members to have meetings. We heard that we can apply for something in this space. We will apply for a structure where the youth club and the community can have meetings. A lot of us who are adults now were groomed in the youth club. There is so much memories of the Franklin Town Youth Club. At the end of the day, partnership is the way to go in any successful project, said Daniels. The improvements to the Franklin Town Police Station was carried out under Project Rebuild, Overhaul and Construct ROC, and forms part of the efforts to improve the working conditions for the men and women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, as well as boost the customer experience of persons who visit the facilities. Under ROC, more than 200 police facilities are being converted into modern, citizen-friendly workspaces to provide members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force with a comfortable environment conducive for work, while creating an ambience for citizens to willingly and comfortably engage the police. St. Anne's Bay Primary in limbo. A notable reduction in classroom space at St. Anne's Bay Primary has resulted in uncertainty as to when face-to-face lessons will resume fully at the public school located in the parish of St. Anne. A block of 6 classrooms, which have fallen into a state of despair and has been deemed unsafe for teachers and students, was recently put out of operation. It is a significant chunk of the classroom space that we normally use to accommodate about 200 students and teachers at any given time, Principal Trevor Cole reported. I am not sure whether or not it will be possible for us to have the challenges regarding that building resolved for us to return to have the full complement of students back in school Monday, he added. Monday, March 21st, is when St. Anne's Bay Primary and other shift schools should fully resume face-to-face classes, the Ministry of Education has announced. We are not in a position to get everybody back on board one time because we don't have the space, said the school's chairman, Councillor Dallas Dickinson, Jamaica Labour Party St. Anne's Bay Division. In March 2020, the government closed schools across the island to help to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. Schools resorted to virtual learning and subsequently to a blended approach that consisted of both online and face-to-face lessons. The blended formula, currently in effect at St. Anne's Bay Primary, is expected to continue on Monday for the school's 1,051 students. We have been employing a rotational model on a week-on, week-off basis to ensure that our students benefit from needed instruction with their teachers, said the principal. We also employ a whole-day school approach for the week. Each group is at school, and for the time that they are online with their teachers, they are facilitated for half-day, so it's a blended approach we are using. He told reporters that the Education Ministry has been aware since the latter part of 2021 of the structural challenges with the classroom block. The Minister of Education is aware of the situation through our discussions, and I know that they are actively working on it, he said. I think within a short period of time, the matter should be resolved. I know sometimes the process takes time in terms of procurement, identification of contractors, and so forth. Reporters have tried, without success, to get information from the Education Ministry about the proposed repairs and timeline. Its Director of Corporate Communications, Colin Steer, is yet to respond to written questions submitted. In the meantime, Dickinson is of the view that the school will need a new classroom block. "We really want a building. We are short of a building at the school," he said. The Education Ministry about 5 years ago spent some money to do some work on the block that is now out of use, but it fell back right where it is coming from. It is a concrete structure and things are falling from the roof due to poor material, poor workmanship, and all of that. Principals shared the sentiment that the faculty classroom block should be demolished, but not now. "I know that demolition would be the best option, but we want to get the students back into a space so that we can fill some of the learning gaps and deficits created as a consequence of the novel coronavirus pandemic. And so, we may have to do some patching work on the block and then look at a more long-term strategy," he added. The apparent delay in rectifying the issue regarding the classroom block has not gone down well with some parents who blast the Education Ministry for not using the school's protracted period of closure to undertake repairs. "I feel disappointed, and I think the children are being cheated," said a working mother whose son is in grade 1 and is allowed to attend classes every other week at the school. "When I went to register my child, I was not informed of this classroom issue. I would have chosen a different school," said the woman, who asked that her name not to be published. "The school has a classroom issue, and we are not getting any information about it. We are only hearing that the classrooms are out of use, and because of that the children have to come 1 week face-to-face and 1 week online. To tell you the truth, my child is not learning anything at home, and I am not able to stay home and monitor him online every day. The children need to go to school." That is not the only case in which the Education Ministry is being accused of dragging its feet regarding repairs needed to accommodate students in light of the full resumption of face-to-face classes. A similar concern was raised at Port Maria Primary School in St. Mary, where a section of a wooden classroom block was damaged by a February 1 flood. Up to a month later, no work was done on the block, forcing Port Maria Primary to improvise by placing more students into already small classrooms. NCB to close 5 more branches. National Commercial Bank (NCB) has spent the last 6 months reorganizing some of its branches to take an heavier workload while downgrading others to serve as banking agency in the lead-up to the financial giant's announcement Wednesday that it is closing another 5 branches. NCB's Hagley Park Road, Washington Boulevard, Oxford Road and Cross Road branches, as well as the agent bank in Black River, St. Elizabeth, are all on the chopping block for the bank's network of 32 island-wide branches on the basis of high density and proximity. The effective date for closure of the named branches is May 6, NCB said in an emailed advisory that it sent to customers on Wednesday. However, the 24-hour bank and the on-go areas, or ABMs, will remain in all the locations except Oxford Road, where usage is said to be relatively lower than most. It marks the second consolidation exercise to be undertaken by the bank over the past 2 years. The previous exercise involved the closure of its Half Moon, Anoto Bay, and Chopperton locations in July 2020. 2 of the Kingston branches, Oxford Road and Hagley Road, are owned by NCB and will be up for sale. The financial giant will discontinue lease arrangements for Washington Boulevard and Crossroads. NCB's Assistant General Manager with responsibility for marketing and communications, Shereen Martin, reported. NCB will reroute business from the Crossroads branch to the Dirk Street operations. Similarly, Hagley Park's business will be shifted to NCB's Halfway 3 branch. The accounts at Oxford Road and Washington Boulevard will fall on the Knoxford Boulevard and Compton Spring Financial Center respectively. When you start to think about the proximity of branches, some of them are not justifiable. Additionally, customers can now bank anywhere, so they can not confine to a branch, Martin stated. Amid the closures, NCB has incorporated in its operations a new banking model that it says is better designed to create greater internal efficiencies while responding to changing economic times and technological systems. The reconstructing could also be cost-saving play for the NCB Financial Group, which made $19 billion in profit for FY 2021, the lowest earning reported by Jamaica's largest bank since 2017. We are trying to find that soft spot between physical and digital services. In coming to our decision, we look at how customers are transacting, why they want to visit a branch, and if they are actually visiting the branches, Martin said. In November, NCB began the implementation of its new branch model, which primarily sees the bank repurposing some of its branches into financial centers. 6 branches have been restored and renamed as financial centers: Fairview, Montego Bay, St. Anne's Bay, St. Anne, Mapen, Clarendon, Mandeville, Constant Spring, St. Andrew, and Brook Street, Kingston. Each financial center will have 3 or 4 branches reporting to them and will be staffed to suit the needs of the geographic clusters, meaning financial centers in areas with higher traffic will be staffed with more people. Some 60% of the staff to be affected by the branch closure will be reassigned duties at NCB's remaining 27 branch network, Martin stated. The other posts will be made redundant. We will be deploying more than 60% of the staff to other locations, whether in head office in the branches or assigning them to the financial centers, Martin disclosed. Accompanying the revised branch model is the introduction of the appointment scheduling, a feature NCB has been quietly testing in 2 of its financial centers since December for a full rollout in other centers come June. The system requires clients to indicate when and why they are visiting the branch before providing clients with information on expected wait time. NCB itself has been using the system to collect data on how to resource its locations with optimal staffing to ensure faster in-branch service. Think of these financial centers as a hub, so you will be staffed to deal with personal banking needs, wealth management services, business banking, investments, corporate commercial lending, and so on. All of our services will be housed in each of its 6 financial centers, Martin stated. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.